Hey there, welcome to another pick a card reading. This is more like pick an oracle deck reading, and this one is about what is the topic? Yeah, how is your authentic self triggering to others? Like, what does it triggers within others? Like, and if you're someone who's like, like sometimes you feel defeated, sometimes you're like tired of this happening over and over again. What can you do about it, right? So this reading is definitely for you, and you can directly click on the piles and I'll see you there. This is pile number 1. Okay, this is pile number 2 with the Resurrection Oracle. Okay, shiny blue. And this is pile number 3, the Shamanic Oracle. I've not used this since ages, so let's see how it goes. Hi, pile number 1, which shows the Human Spirit Oracle, Learning to Reconnect by Jenna. I don't know how to say this name, so I don't want to butcher it. But it's a very cute box. I really love this. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep you guys here. More like, and these are like the mindful learning deck I got from a store. These would be like your guidance if you need any, if I feel like. So today's reading are purely based on oracles, and tarot cards won't be used today because I want to see like the bigger picture with this reading. So it kind of helps us see beyond see beyond like things like, when you get into that nitty-gritty details, it's more like it's no more about your growth, it's more like your ego, right? So anyways, okay, so whatever comes in reversal, I'm gonna take it upright. With that said, let's focus on your energy and see what does your authenticity brings or triggers in people, brings out in the people. So who is my pile number 1? What is the essence of my pile number 1? What is my pile number 1's essence, please, Spirit Guides? Can I get one more? Dude, I was literally viewing this card. So you got the Master of Destiny with ducks in a row. These are your 2 cards. I want to say pile number 1, interestingly, I like how so you as a person, I would say your essence or the way you exist is when people come to you for advice, you can always resonate with this thing. Like, people like always praise the way you help them, or something about you makes me feel like you're very good with helping people, or um, I don't know, your words, the way you interact, or how you are able to spot the problems for them, and like how you give them the solution. So it's not just like you don't just speak with experience from this lifetime, you speak from experience from many lifetimes. Okay, this is not just like, oh, it happened to me, when I was in 10th grade and stuff like that. So it's not like that with you. um, with Master of Destiny, I do feel like people who have what did I say? I mean, how do I place this? Wait, let me just form a thought. um, People, how would I talk about this nicely? you know, uh, Master of Destiny. So this guy is kind of giving me like, you could be a man watching this reading, okay? I heavily feel your physical energy is very biological male. So, yeah, the way um, frankly, I do not like the people that are there around you right now. I mean, this was supposed to be like a in general people, but I think with you especially, there are some people who are like a little bit, they tend to force themselves in your life, and when you kind of set a boundary, they're like, oh no, pile number one is very selfish, they wouldn't let me control pile number one's life. Do you get it? So I don't like, I mean, these are very close people, and uh, yeah, because what I am focusing on with this card is like this guy has got like a lot of keys on his coat, and then there are keys flying around his hat and somewhere here as well. So I do get like, they like how you help them get into rooms. Does that make sense? Like your being in a connection with you is a very profitable thing, rather than admiring like you at a soul level. So these are the kind of people around you, and somehow they've inserted themselves in your energy again. With ducks in a row about you, I would say you have a very youthful energy in you. Like you're very when I say youthful, it's more like I just remember this example of someone I know and that's like a 4-year old kid. He is in a school, and I met him, I think, day before yesterday. So sometimes toddlers these days, they kind of tend to say very he's a school going kid, so yeah, he's very sharp. But they tend to say stuff that is so beyond your comprehension that you like just sit there and you're like, who did even taught you that, and then you're just like speechless. So yeah, and something of that similar situation happened, and I was just stuck speechless. And then I kind of went like a step further. He's very smart, right, for his age. But the way I received his energy was like, that is a very good perspective to look at, and it's very rare. So me as an adult should always be open to learning, right? Which literally every one of us lacked, right, at some point. Even I did, but I learned it the hard way, right? So yeah, and mostly like people around me that were like listening to his conversation or whatever his quirky remarks, they were like, oh no, you shouldn't speak like that, that's very bad manners and stuff. And I'm like, no, it's very creative, like the way he thinks, it's very rare. You should in fact encourage him and maybe guide him, like go to a very reasonable direction rather than offending people and ruining relationships, right? So but then yeah, sadly, I mean, that didn't happen. He just got like bashing from his mom. But my point is like, I hope like this energy, this youthfulness that he has is still maintained. So with you, somehow it's still there. Like either you went through a lot of things that kind of helped you stay connected to this, or you've recently learned this about you and you started like applying this, like, hey, listen, this is what I do best, with helping people. So let me just add a youthful touch to it. So if this resonates, then this is your pile. Okay, so let's see what about you triggers people. You had all aboard energy in your at the back of your deck, by the way. What about pile one triggers people around them? What about them triggers people around them? Oh, siren song. You have I'm possible. So you have two very beautiful ethereal cards. I think it's your looks, the way your authenticity triggers people is when you just, I think like for some of you it would resonate, like the way you look, no matter what you dress like you could be like literally dressed in your most comfortable sweatpants, like it might literally have one or two holes in it, right? And you're like, no, but this is that comfortable clothing that I am not willing to give up no matter what. And you're dressed in that, and you just like at your home doing nothing, being a couch potato, and like people are still triggered, like, how can pile number one look so good? Why are they dressed in this ripped clothing? So you see, they tend to put you on a pedestal even though you were like laying flat on the ground, and they fail to see the humanness of you. The other thing that I see with these cards is like, with the siren song, what triggers people around you is mostly you, because when you say something, it not only stays with them, it kind of makes them uh, like, what am I doing with my life kind of questions, and it's imagine a person putting a lot of efforts and you literally remind me of someone I know, but this energy and like a recent incident. So sorry, just give me a minute, just gonna take a sip. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, so recently there was, you remind me of someone, similar energy anyways. What's what the message was is with the siren song, yeah, people are pissed off. So I was saying, imagine like there is someone who's worked really hard, and they've followed the script and they've done like XYZ because it was mentioned in the rule book, and it is what their ancestors have done, their parents have done, or someone they feel like guardian or whatever idol has done. And they've like shed blood, sweat and tears in this task, and only after you do this you should be able to achieve this. Only after hard work and resistance and blah 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 you can achieve this thing. So imagine the person like that, right? And then you come into the picture and they see you and you're very effortless for some reason. And the way I am reading your energy through this person's point of view, or anyone who's seeing you in this light, is more like you're not effortless without hard work. You are effortless in a smart way. So you did not do hard work, you did smart work, okay? And then this person is like forced to look at their methods, their ways, their ideologies, their principles, their morals, and every single strand of their own existence. And then they just triggered like, how the hell did pile one did that? And me, I'm doing this like through going through the manual and doing it like step by step, and I'm still not getting that, or I'm still not satisfied. And how is pile number one satisfied? Something like that. Yeah. So where was I? Yeah. So the way you show up is not something that you are authentic. Okay. I mean, sorry. Let me just rephrase it. The way you show up, it's not exactly who you are. It's just like 5% of who you are. Okay. But that's like pure gold. That's not any mixture, any alloy. Oh my god, why am I getting into chemistry? Okay, so the way you show up is like very, very authentic. Okay, it's not, you don't pretend. Even in the first impressions, you don't pretend to be someone else. And then like with this card I'm getting, like I'm possible. This female is holding like a shield, like a mirror, and she's coming through out the mirror, but she's got like the mask on. So it's still her, it's the silhouette of her face, but still not her, right? So I think like very few people get to see like the proper authentic you. And I do feel like people are triggered when you do not include them in your inner circle. The other thing people are triggered by is how pretty you look or how handsome you look. If you're a boy, of course you can look pretty. I mean, biological male. And if you are a woman who's watching this, definitely you're pretty and handsome both. Take it how it resonates. Yeah, they're very much triggered. Like they immediately jump to being like envious of you rather than taking that time and efforts of developing that routine to help you show up in that way, right? Because you do definitely take care of your body, your health, and you're very like you don't negotiate or just settle for something just because it gets you through the day. You're very particular with things that go with your style, your appearance. So people just fail to register that you take a lot of efforts in putting your entire what do you call it, wardrobe, the way you dress up, right? It's time and effort, but they do not they fail to accept that about you. Another thing I was getting was with this siren and this saxophone, it's sorry, it's not a saxophone, it's some player, it's a record player. Yeah, like I do get like you do not let people in that easily, and that would trigger people around you. Okay, so with that said, let's see who are these people that are usually triggered by you. Are these strangers, friends, family? Let's see who are they. Romantic interest. Who are the types of people that are mostly triggered by my pile number one's authenticity? Who are these people that are mostly triggered by my pile number one's authenticity? Oh, I get like workplace vibes a lot. Yeah, hothead. These are like your higher ups, people who are like, you've got these two cards. One is hothead and the other one is bound for boundaries. Okay, so these are mostly people who can say no to you or these are mostly people who you let's say no to them. Yeah, because I do feel like everything is in your power. It's like you let them. That is why they can be this way. Otherwise you're just gonna walk out. And then you have the butterfly effect at the bottom of your deck. So yeah, these are the people at your work, especially at work. I want to say you might have like your exes, people you've dated, you've been with, they might feel this way about you, like I just said, but mostly I get like people in your work environment, because your work is where you are like this, you don't show everything, so that makes sense, right? With hothead, is there anyone else that I should be seeing? I don't get like friends here. Friends are good. Your new romantic partner, if you are like looking to date someone else, they are good. Any new energy that I'm getting here, it's good. Strangers, good. They like adore you for some reason. I don't know, they just admire you from a distance. If you maybe catch them staring at you, they might just literally feel worse because they got caught and now they cannot stare at you anymore. Kind of energy. So yeah, that's weird. So the numbers that I've got here are 14, 33, 26, 18, 21 and 16. So that 333 is a thing for you. We do have 5, 9, again 6, and then 26, that is 8, and then 16, that is 7. But yeah, apart from that, yeah, the people that are mostly triggered by you are your work friends. So I did give this a shuffle in the intro, so I'm just gonna do that. What is the guidance for my pile number 1? Yeah, I do feel like sometimes things get like really intense in terms of how people act with you, and it's not fair. I do feel like you must have a lot of setbacks in your work, like wherever the highest position of that work situation is according to you, right? If you're like working as an officer and you wanted to be the manager, you could have been that by now, right? But it's because of this petty insecurity that people carry with them. I feel like your progress is stunned in this particular situation. Yeah, so anyways, so what you can do about this, right? So you have heart and mind affirmation. My heart is open and my mind is clear. So the more authentic you will be, the more it will trigger these people, and the more you'll anyway progress. It's I know very difficult to even give you this advice, because not fair, right? But um, like, if you look at it in a physical manifestation, yes, definitely not fair. How can these people be like that? But I do feel like the more you choose yourself, the more things happen for you. So stop listening to these people clearly and start giving yourself more. Okay, so yeah, that's all I had for you, pal number one. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next reading. Bye. This is if you chose pal number two. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Resurrection Oracle, welcome to your life. By sorry, I didn't see the author. It's again Jenna, the lovely Jenna. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep this box back and I'm gonna place you guys here. I love this deck again because the shiny part, and even the illustrations are very particularly pretty. So I'm gonna just give you guys a really quick shuffle. So pile number two, this is what your energy is. I just did like a really good shuffle with your deck because I just wanted to be very sure before I read about you. So you have the graduate, and then you have the joyful moments. Wow, let me just graduate here with the number 5 and number 32 joyful moments. And number 2, you could be like a teacher, because that's the first thing that was triggered when I saw his face. Not that I have a teacher like this, of course. I was like philosophy, institution, and Greek mythology, like looking at his face. So yeah, that was the reason. And then you could be like a very well-known teacher or a tutor, or however you want to call yourself. Like a lot of people know you, like, that are not from the same culture as you, but somehow you just fit. Okay, with the sunflowers, I'm getting like you could be someone with a very I wanted to say like you come from a specific climate zone, but then I immediately got this feeling like this is where you would love to go. So you would love like the fields of sunflower, like the farms. And you could be someone from a farmer background. Like you could have like a lot of lands, and you would have grown up in nature like that, very close interaction with crops, food, nature, forest, very strongly I get that over here. So I don't know, this is very weird, but about your past life, pile number 2, you've been on earth in your past life, and you've played a role of a leader. Okay, like you've led an army through a war. That's where you get this discipline of being a teacher. Okay, like I'll just explain. So there are teachers who are very creative and open to nature, and their methodology is something like, let the nature teach you, right? There are teachers like that, and then there are teachers like, who teach you derivatives and trigonometry and geometry stuff. So they have a method to follow, right? So your teaching method is something like a war general. I don't know, very specific, but yeah. So yay. Right? Yeah, but you've impacted a lot of lives, by the way, by whatever you teach. Now you would have that as a profession, or you could be like doing it as a side hustle, or you could be doing it any shape, way or form, right? It's not just like philosophy or anything or an institution. You could be like tarot reader, YouTube, you could have your own masterclass, you could be on Instagram, you could have your own business. So it's like a wide range. You can fit yourself wherever you feel like, right? So with that said, if that was your energy and that was your vibe, let's see, what do you trigger in people? What do you trigger in people? What does pile number 2 trigger in people by being their most authentic self? What does pile number 1 trigger in people by being their most authentic self? Can I get one more, please? What does pile number 2, trigger in people by being their most authentic self? You have face value. Literally, look how pretty you are, pile number 2. Finding your spirituality, baby. Okay, you have 2 cards, okay? So what you trigger in people by being your authentic self, and these are like your students, okay? Like people who watch you somehow, like what you trigger. I don't know, they could be literally, I just got this image of someone lifting weights, and there is someone else watching from the corner of the room at this person, and there is the light against that other person who's watching you. Yeah, interesting. So yeah, what you trigger in people, right? While you're being authentic. So I do get like with finding your spirituality, it's something that you say, okay? It's your principles, it's your morals, okay? Like I do feel like a lot of people think like in this day and age you shouldn't have principles and morals the way pile number 2 does. Like it's too dramatic or it's too rigid for someone your age should have this principles and morals. I'm getting like a dating situation where you are on a date, pile number 2, and that person is like, who does that, who lives a celibate life before meeting their spouse. Dating is now culture and you should follow that. I mean, that is such a rigid principle you have, but then you're like, no, I'm like a one man woman, or I'm a one woman man, take it how it resonates, right? So I don't want to be invested in a situation or a relation where it's not leading to marriage. So it is just like an example. With you it could be something else, right? Whatever principles and morals you have, pile number 2, apart from whatever these people think about you, I just want to say like you have these principles and morals with your past life experience as well. Like they have a very good reason to be in your soul's imprint or your soul's footprint, right? So remember, when it gets very difficult for you to defend them, just maybe try to take yourself out of that situation for a while. Like, it could be just 5 minutes, like take a break from defending yourself and then go back again, because that was like one of your strategies, I think. Okay, what else do you trigger in people? They don't like being seen by you. Okay, people don't like being seen by you. Your students don't like being seen by you. And when I say seen, you see exactly what they lack and what they need, and you know where areas where they need your help. And you know, I do feel you have a lot of students, and whatever people who are viewing you, they think that you have it figured it out, and they hate to ask you for that. Like, there are people who are like inwardly competing with you as well. And these are like probably mostly strangers, like people who first time interact with you, until they first time interact with you, I want to say. So mostly strangers, I get. With this finding your spirituality, so yeah, sorry, you had two cards, the face you put on and then finding your spirituality. So with this card, I do get like you make people want to rest. You make people want to, like, you know, like, can I just take this day off today, pile number 2? And you're like, yeah, hell yeah, of course, go. You know, it's not that big a deal, we can do this tomorrow. And then they're like, oh my god, pile number 2, I just wanted you to say that because that helps me so much, you know, I just needed a break today. So, and then they're like so grateful for you. These are like your friends as well, so, or the people you work with, they're very grateful for you. So you kind of trigger this permission kind of person. Like, they might need not only your validation, but they might need your permission. Like, I'm telling you, you just gave me this one teacher I had during my school days. Oh my god, oh, that was like that was like so weird that I was reminded of her. But okay, since we're there, what else do you trigger in people? Sorry, God bless my dad. Yeah, when he sneezes, it's like everyone has to know he's sneezing. You know, you should have seen like one of our neighbors who was like very new to this concept. Mostly in India, everyone does like that. So anyways, my point is, coming back to this, the face you put on. Yeah, people don't want you to see them. You get a people who are already, oh god, okay, you get these kind of people that are very much entitled to I would say entitled to their methods, their ways, and then you come in and you're like a war general, right? And you've had experience, you've led a war. You've won it, right? So your experience doesn't come from like only 3 months of practice or anything, it comes from like many lifetimes. So when you say stuff, it has this weight, it has this value, right? And when these people say the same exact stuff, it is like, oh my god, just go and get your facts check, or oh my god, just learn from pile number 2 how they say it, you know. I mean, you can't even do this, and this is their inner dialogue, okay? So they kind of be very self-critical in your presence. Okay, so let us see who are these people mostly? Who are mostly triggered by you? You have turning point and the departure. These are mostly people that are leaving, that are like passers by, that are like, bro. Yeah, these are mostly people that are like passers by. Maybe you corrected them. Maybe it was like just a small interaction. Maybe this was like a cup of coffee situation. Maybe these are the people you dated school days. I'm not kidding. So yeah, the number 3. 3 is the number of, I don't remember, Empress. Yeah, you give me Empress vibes. The departure. Yeah, like these are the people who have an eye on you as well. I do heavily get like people who are entitled. Now these could be like friends, people you've dated, family, take it how it resonates, but mostly I get like entitled people, like people who refuse to grow up, refuse to even like go through the consequences of their own actions, right? So pile number 2, you have this as your guidance, because this can be like a totally frustrating situation. So this is your affirmation, and this is what is returned. Is it? Okay, anyways, who am I really? So your affirmation is, I am robust, beautiful, calm, powerful, playful, energetic, restful. I do feel you know that, but sometimes when these people get into your mind, and your feelings and your emotions could be hurt, and sometimes you might just deviate and become very much not true to your authentic self. So it is definitely difficult, but I get that you have brought yourself out of a lot of situations, and you have a good hold on who you are authentically. So I trust you don't even need this. You just like, you can use this, of course, if you do not, but you can use this affirmation for yourself when you feel like it. So yeah, that's all I had for you. Thank you for watching pile number 2. Please like, share and subscribe this video, this channel. And yeah, you can just type in your comment, let me know what happened and what the fuck, right? And I'll see you in my next reading. Hi there, pile number 3. If you chose the Shamanic Oracle, I want to say I've got all my specific psychic spiritualist in this pile, because I immediately got your energy. I can in fact like read for you without these oracles and just holding this, because John Matthews and Will Kingen has created this deck, and it's totally beautiful. Like you can see, like these are some of the images on the top. But I can read your energy based off of this. Okay, so this would be my psychic reading for you. Pile number 3. You're not what you look like, you're not what you can do, you're not what you can read. Okay, you're very definitely powerful, you're very definitely into this field, you're a practicing witch, wizard, you might have your own daily rituals. You're very strong, you're very famous also. So thank you for being here, thank you for sharing your energy. your your purpose has not is not only limited to you guiding others. Your purpose is not only limited to you creating YouTube channels. Your purpose is not only limited to you looking out for others, guiding others. It's more to do so with you leading them towards you. Pile number 3, if you've ever considered creating artwork, you should go ahead. I've been meaning to as well, so I'm going to take this as my sign as well to go ahead and, get into this that I was feeling like doing. Let's see if it aligns with my work. But something about you creating with your hands is going to lead you to your, what is it called, nirvana. I don't know my own Indian mythology. Oh god. Okay, that stages of spirituality where I'll just look into it more. Maybe I'll just add the description when I get a chance to look into it. But yeah, that stage where you become one with the reality, the universe, and you no longer have to say stuff. Yeah, you're very powerful, by the way, pile number 3. You can communicate through your mind. You can, maybe you're heading that way. I just want to say, yeah, no, just not just YouTube, not just Instagram, just go beyond. Definitely go beyond. Don't limit yourself, especially if you think this is being greedy. No, you're not being greedy. You're being called to do more. You're being called to go crazy because the one that has your back is something that everyone is scared of. So if that resonated, this is your pile. If it didn't, I'm really sorry. Maybe you can pick another one. We have particular people here today, so what triggers? How does my pile number 3's authenticity trigger in? What does it trigger in people? I'm not even kidding. You have shaman of reflections, you have ancestor of memory, you have ancestor of knowing, and you have spirit of healing. Okay, so I'm going to show you like that, and I'm going to try and okay, that should work. Yeah, so you trigger people who hesitate to tap into spirituality. You trigger people who hesitate to be themselves. You trigger people who call themselves human in the name of demons. You trigger people who are very not themselves. You basically trigger the authentic side, the authenticness in people. And this is not something that you learn. This is a gift that you're born with. Your soul is born with these gifts. You trigger this in everyone, lovers, family, everyone, every individual in your life is triggered heavily by you because you've been like very authentic. You trigger a lot of things, especially okay, I don't know if you know this, but do you know epigenetics, the concept of epigenetics? Your existence trigger that, the wound that they've carried or the karma that they have created by being a very worse dictator, ruler, anything. That is what you trigger. I don't want you to tread carefully. Go all in. You are so heavily protected by the light and the dark forces. And they're doing it for a collective reason, for the collective consciousness. So please go ahead. This was so particular. Okay. Pile number 3. Interesting. I did not see this coming. Definitely. You're not enough delusional, you're not enough woo, you're not enough you should do not limit yourself. We all are going to be so surprised by what you can do, your caliber, your potential, and everything that's going to be revealed soon. Yeah, go crazy. Definitely go crazy with your gifts. Whoever is doubting you will regret doubting you ever. Whoever thought like, no, this is just too much, like calm down or dumb it down or lower your standards or anything of that sorts, with what you have now. Oh my god, they can't even fathom how much longer or farther you can go with this, because the way I just keep getting interrupted for this. No, definitely go. Do whatever you were gonna plan, but make it more delusional, make it more out of people's league, people's grasp. Nobody will be ever able to touch you in a way where it's gonna harm you, it's gonna bring you down, it's gonna hurt you or give you pain or something of that sort. Okay, you have knowledge, you have memory, you have healing, and you have reflection. You have the most powerful powers in your hand. Please do express it. Be even more authentic. Don't even be scared to share this one strand of hair. No, go ahead. Like, with every atom in your body, express yourself. Okay. Pile number 3, I'm so sorry, it's very short, but it was very straight and strict. I hope this helped some way, shape or form, and I'm glad you shared this energy with me, and I'm so lucky to have you here, by the way. Not that I wasn't with the other 2 pile, but you're very different. You're very rare. Pile number 3. thank you for watching. If this was your vibe, please like, share and subscribe. I would definitely appreciate your support. And I'm gonna go ahead and do my collector reading, the bonus reading only for my subscribers, and I'll see you in my next reading, hopefully, if you subscribe. Bye.